Don't be mistaken. Even though silver's not above $50 right now, it still is the most undervalued asset that has yet to really surpass and shock the world the way the other metals are. On the screen right here, 5 metals listed. And as of right now, you got gold at 3,900, silver $48, platinum 1,500, palladium 1,400, and rhodium $7,700. Out of all these metals, what looks the most out of place happens to be centered around $48 silver. And that, my friends, is something you should be paying attention to. All right, so want to take a minute, share some thoughts in reference to just the precious metals. And one thing that I'm extremely excited about, as you can tell, is silver, because it has caught the headwinds and touched 54 2 weeks ago. And I was actually looking at the chart a moment ago and just trying to map out future projections. And based upon the fact that we saw a abnormally as far as silver trending steadily for several weeks and then peaking out at $54, and then literally within a week being slammed down, and now is hovering beneath that $49 potential ceiling that the bullion banks would love to keep on top of silver. But then again, we got platinum, palladium, rhodium, and everything else beyond quadruple digits. And so one thing I want to touch on is just to pay attention to the trend. And even though silver is not touching its all-time high, it is still the most exciting place to be, just because it is the most affordable out of all the precious metals for the most part. And then also the fact that literally silver is the kryptonite towards the bullion banks. And when silver actually pops and goes to numbers that we can't see, let's first get the triple digits. So once we pass $100, there's no telling to how fast it will move at that point. And it could be the end of this year, it could be next year, you never know. But then again, I've been in the game long enough to realize patience is literally a virtue. So what I want to do is just share with you some charts and also share with you some opportunities for those that want to get involved in the metal space directly, because it's one thing to be a silver stacker and whether or not it's your hobby or it's your passion, but it's another thing to have all of that factored into one and also make it a business. So I want to share with you some things that the community is doing and some opportunities for those who perhaps might want to get involved, because at this current moment with all these figures, there's been definitely won't hurt to have a couple side hustles, I'm sure. So I'm definitely going to put you guys on game on how you can get involved. And it's one of the things where you don't really have to do much marketing, because all you got to do is let people know what's happening in the real world when it comes to the price of gold and silver. And if they don't want to participate in that, then you couldn't have helped them in the first place. So anyway, let's just jump into some charts real quick. I want to share with you some things that caught my attention, and we'll just walk our way through it. Screen here, we have literally the last month in silver, and I'm going to be paying attention to silver heavily every day, especially looking for news stories out of the Asian area, because we know India and we know China is heavily involved, and the supply demand issues will continue to persist. Therefore, it's going to be hard for the bullion banks in the Western Hemisphere to keep the price down. Possession is going to be key, but then getting it at a rate that is somewhat affordable or within your budget. And of course, majority of the people that watch this show, they're not heavy investors. People can go out and buy tonnage. We're talking about your average Joe and Jane, people who get up every day, go grind, who may only have an ounce or two worth of income to actually be able to go out and purchase. And so this is for those individuals to remind you of the importance of taking advantage of the dips. And a dip at this current moment, factoring in the premium on top of that, might only be $2-3, but that's 1 or 2 more ounces perhaps that you were not able to buy prior to that dip. So right now, I thought I would talk about this because we're at a point where we might see this prolonged tap on silver price right here beneath me at about $48 to $49 for quite some time, unless something breaks. But just look at the trend as if which can be your friend. So let me just get right to it. So if you zoom out, let's go 2 months just for the sake of making it worth your while. And so move myself out the way here. So as you can see, literally, we go back here to where things kicked off at $41 at the beginning of September. So let's just look at a 4-week period of activity. So from September 3rd all the way through September, we climbed steadily. So within 1 month, it went from $41 on a low, $40 on a low, all the way up to October 1st at $47. So let's just say the month of October was a $7 gain from start to finish. Okay. And it's just that heading into the fall momentum, which, of course, if you paid attention to the news that was happening around the world, that's when the whole India narrative really kicked off. And it was just the airways, when the news hit the Western media, that's when we just saw more commentators, more metals dealers talking and sharing their thoughts, because people were actually coming into stores, pawn shops, online sales was up. And so literally off just the mere mention of India getting in the game, buying physical and securing tonnage and everything that they're doing, literally we saw a lot of price action. And that's just one country. Mind you, China's been in the game for a while now, but our media makes sure they don't talk about China's gold or any activity with silver, but they couldn't hide India because India's population is much bigger than China's. And so literally, so $7 in 1 month. Okay, so now we go from October 1st, 47.54. And once again, going into the month of October, we saw the all-time high taking us all the way up to 53.98. And 53.98 literally came at October 16th. So halfway through the month, we saw an all-time high. And based upon that 16-day upward trajectory, halfway through the month. So it took 1 month to gain $7. Then it took an entire 16 days to go from 46 to 54. So let's just say $8. So $7 in September. Half of the month of October was an $8 increase. And then literally the bullion banks, the powers that be, whoever it is that was controlling or who was losing control of the narrative, decided to put a clamp on it. And then I remember talking about this. They dumped everything they could. It was like all types of ways. They invented ways to slam down. The most recent news is that using the SLV ETF, they've somehow figured out a way to maneuver that and to use the silver, supposedly the silver in that. And by dumping that, apparently it impacted the price. And so here we are now, the side effects of that particular dumping, if that is the case. And so literally after October 16th, they just put the brakes on it. And then it went from $51, took a little dip up 20th, and then we just went down from there. So literally we ended the month of October at, let's just go one notch here. So literally from a start of 41 up to 54, then down to 48.80, give or take. So up 8, then it came down 6. And so here we are as of right now. And on Wednesday, it is 48.15. So at the time of this video here, silver, the markets are open. And so we're getting a bid, obviously, from out east in Asia. And so as of right now, as you can see on the screen, we're trending upward to 48.17. So that's a 62 cent increase, or 1.29% increase within trading day based out in Asia. And so what is that? Tomorrow morning here in the West, we can probably see 49. And so this gets me to my point of what I want to talk about. So here we are now at this alleged ceiling that they've tried to put on us. And so beneath me here, you can see that slam down took a lot of effort. And so literally just in this area right here, from 48 to 48 down to 46.81, it took everything they had in their power to go from 54 to 46, $9 within a 2 or so week time frame. And here we are now, 48.18. And so once again, that $49 mark is the area where they would love for it to stay below that price range there, so that they meaning the bullion banks, the banks, and all the other issues that we're facing in the world, so they can focus on other things. And that, my friends, is the opportunity that I want to talk about. So once again, $50 silver right now. So wherever you go online, you're going to find silver spot price 48, 49, whatever it is, plus $3, $4, $5, $6 wherever you go. And once again, focus on possession. My personal opinion is right now at $49, $48 spot price, it's probably as cheap as it's ever going to be ever again. Because once again, as I mentioned in previous videos, they can slam the spot price, but they can't control the premium that the actual dealers will have to charge in order to let 1 ounce go out of their possession, because they can't take a loss. So there'll be no losses taken whatsoever. And so literally $50-ish is going to be the cheapest you can get it, because they're going to add that premium in. And so with that being the case, that's where I want to encourage people. If you have not, there's no better time, in my opinion, to get involved in silver. And this is an opportunity for everybody to take advantage of the trend, to directly involved in the silver business. So here you got the Quick Silver Wealth Accelerator group, where you can join the silver team and work with me directly, and I can show you the ropes and get you set up with no problem. It's really simple. Just set up an automated amount of silver that you want to purchase per month, have it sent to you. You get all your information you need for your own personal store, and then share your information with other people, help them get their weight up, and you're rewarded on the back end of that. And that's what I want to talk about, some of the rewards. So with that being the case, I want to show you some of the rewards that can come along with getting your weight up. So on the screen here, as you can see, I got a couple beauties right off to my right here. And so I want to take you through and show you some of these things here. And these are what I consider to be somewhat unique pieces. And of course, everybody has a preference as to what they want. But being a part of the silver team, the people who put everything together, they get a chance to get these cheaper. And so therefore, they're 395 and they're silver. And they're literally like going to be historical pieces, because take this out. This is the first time in modern history that you have a mother and a son on a 395 silver coin. And so literally we have two countries represented here, where the British crown is still in charge, in a sense, of the financial dealings within those countries. It's real quick here to give you an idea as to what comes in with the membership here. And these are just some of, you get all types of things, but these are just some things that come. So here you have the Australian 2023 $1, the Queen on it. And so once again, the Queen is no longer with us. And so this piece here definitely will carry some value, because this is also, it's a commemorative coin, because it shows all her information from the time that she was on the crown, 52 to 22. And then of course on the back it has Australia, and it's like a commemorative 50 year anniversary commemorative thing. I assume it's her reign over Australia, but I'm not sure. And then next to this one is Charles, King Charles at that. So as you can see here, we have Charles III. This is a $5 piece, 2024, and it is from Canada. And as it says here, 4 nines. So forgive me, I said 3 nines. This is 4 nines fine silver. Once again, from the Canadian Mint. So just a little something there. So we got Australia, we got Canada, and then the next one here. This is a doozy. Here we have 2 pounds. We got King Charles, 2 pounds, and this right here is 3 nines. And so we have the Britannia. So as you can see here, it has a little security feature right there off to the side. But this is 3/9 fine silver, the Britannia. And then last, we have the Queen again. This is the pound, and this is the one previous to her son being put on. 3/9 fine, as you can see there, with the little security feature. 2022. And then the next one is 2023. So I believe she passed in 22. And then the next year's edition, 2023, they put her son on there, King Charles. These are just a couple things here that is a part of the community, where by being on the silver team, being within the ecosystem, you get a chance to accumulate physical, tangible wealth that goes a long way, because it's tangible. Like you can actually hear them things clink, cling. And so, of course, I wear my gloves just because these are some special pieces in a sense. But once again, all it takes is 1 ounce at a time to add to your stack, and you'll be better than 99.99% of the population that has no clue. So once again, if you guys are interested, as I mentioned before, links in the description. Go to mysilverteam.com, go through the whole process there, get you set up, and then you'll get a chance to get this page here. And then this is the page here where you can take it, share with other people. And as people get their weight up, you are compensated for your effort. So you're literally, you become the middleman between the distributors and the world. And all you have to do is just share your information. And along with that, allows you to save on buying from yourself. And on top of that, the proceeds you get, you can turn around and then buy silver directly. And so 2 of these pieces here came from me just simply helping other people, and it come free. Basically, it's free silver. So who wouldn't want that? But anyway, if you guys are interested, I encourage you, click the link in the description and you can go right there and sign up and then communicate with me. Definitely love to work with you. But once again, just checking in, share my 2 cents. Curious to see what you guys think. If you found value, hit that thumbs up, drop a comment. Catch you later.